We cashed the Locky two-step and Locky Trinity last time around as Andre Petrosky lay in praise his way to victory over Dylan Butka, and then Natalia Silva goes out there and outpoints Jessica Andrade in a pretty one-sided affair, cashing that -121 lock of the night, Locky two-step. The Locky Trinity does come through as well as Sean Brady does his thing in the main event, picking up that decision victory over Gilbert Burns and cashing a +187 three-leg parlay. I got another Locky two-step and Locky Trinity for UFC 306 that I'm going to be throwing your way very shortly here. Reminder, there is an LFA card and KSW card this weekend as well. I'll have written breakdowns for those on the MMA, LOT, and Patreon page. Check the link in the description below. I've also dropped a Bellator breakdown for you guys on the YouTube page, so check out the YouTube page if you want access to that. That goes down Saturday morning before UFC 306. All right, with the plugs out of the way, let's get right into the free parlay. First step up in the Locky two-step is going to be Joshua Van, who goes up against Edgar Chairez. Now, a lot of people are a little bit iffy about this matchup, considering that Van had suffered defeat by knockout to Charles Johnson just over 2 months ago. However, I think that he is a defensively responsible fighter in the striking realm more often than not, and we often see him rolling with shots very well, evading shots very well, while pressuring his opponents, and then putting 3, 4, 5-punch combinations together to hurt his opponents and slow them down. Chairez is very aggressive, and you'll likely have some success early, but I expect Van to start wearing him down and eventually finish him, or maybe even win this fight on the scorecards. If the finish were to come, it will probably come late in this matchup, but I do believe in Van's potential still, and I think that Johnson loss was just more of a hiccup than anything, and he'll be able to remind folks why he is so dangerous once again as he puts his foot on the gas and gets the win here over Chairez. The second step in the Locky two-step is going to be Ronaldo Rodriguez, who takes on Ode Osborne. Now, Rodriguez has picked up a victory earlier this year over the likes of Dennis Bondera in his UFC debut, and I think in this matchup he'll show a similar style to what he had in that fight. He might get out grappled in the early goings of this fight, but he did a great job in the Bondera fight in terms of putting off enough resistance, disrupting the base of Bondera, pulling off reversals, getting back to his feet, and keeping the pressure on Bondera, which eventually slowed Bondera down late and allowed Rodriguez to finish him in the second round. I'm expecting the same thing here with Ode, normally doing a good job when he's able to dictate the pace of his fights, and he will likely go to his grappling here against Rodriguez, but I think he's going to struggle to establish that top position, allowing Rodriguez to get back to his feet and put the pressure on him once again and opening up a club and sub opportunity. Look for Rodriguez to wrap up a submission by round 2 or round 3, but more importantly, winning this fight on the money line so that we can cash this Locky two-step, which I was able to lock in at +151 for the Patreon folks earlier this week when I dropped it to them. Again, that's one of the other perks you get for jumping on the MMA, LOT, and Patreon pages. I drop these nice and early for the guys, rather than having to wait till Friday to lock it in when you get a slightly worse line. So right now, you're able to get +141, so about 10 points less than when I dropped it to the Patreon folks earlier this week. The third step, or at least the Locky Trinity, if you want to complete it here, we're going to go a little bit risky. We're going to go co-main event. We're going to go Valentina Shevchenko, and I expect her to finally get her revenge here over Alexa Grasso. We know that wayward round 5 scorecard from Mike Bell in their second matchup cost Shevchenko the title, and I don't think that she'll make those mistakes once again here, and I expect her to go out there and grind out Grasso. She should be able to win at least 3 rounds once again, getting those takedowns, getting some good top control time, but I think we'll see her play it even safer. You saw when Grasso was able to have success, it was because Shevchenko was a little bit too aggressive, taking the back and allowing Grasso to pretty much shrimp out of those positions and either reverse them or eventually get back to her feet. Look for Shevchenko to maintain control from the half guard position, rain down some shots, but more importantly, get that control time to eventually win this fight on the scorecards. And new flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko. Now, when I dropped it for the Patreon folks earlier this week, they were able to get +456. Very juicy parlay, risky, very juicy, but I feel pretty damn good about it. As of right now, you're able to get +428, so it's dropped a decent amount there. Again, another perk for dropping on the Lock of the Night Patreon page. All right, there's the free parlay for you guys. I'll be back later today for the 3 best prop bets. See you guys then.